Hello fellow Clashers, welcome to another episode with KairosTime Gaming. Today we're going to be going over a deck that I recently created using cards that come from Arena 5 and below. Because it does not use any legendary cards or epic cards, it's a great deck that is easy to level up, which makes it a great choice as you're climbing up the ladder. Before I get started on this deck though, I wanted to let you know that Kairos Clashers is a new clan that I started for those of you that are interested in joining a clan full of positivity and active donators. So go ahead and check it out. We don't care what your cup count is right now. All we care about is that you want to get better and that you're active and positive. If you haven't already looked at the video guide that I have on this deck, I highly recommend checking it out. It also comes with an in-depth written guide on how to use each of the cards on ClashRoyaleArena.com. I'll make sure and leave a link in the description below so that you can check that out. All of the gameplay that you're going to be seeing today is from a tournament that I played where I actually got first using this deck. The deck is very good at using cards that synergize very well with each other to help you pull off very impressive wins and very impressive defenses. You'll see right here we're facing Jer, and we've already taken down a tower, and we still have a minute and 37 seconds left, so we're doing pretty good. Now, he has an interesting deck where he uses the miner as a distraction and then tries to take out my tower with supporting minions and the minion horde. That's kind of a little bit of a worry type of deck for this deck because it only has 3 cards of really dealing with those minions, and that is the My Minions and also the Fire Spirit and the Zap. You want to make sure that you use those cards very carefully when you're facing somebody like this so that you can make sure that they don't catch you off guard. Now you'll notice that I basically ignored the miner that was whacking down on my tower there. I tried to use the Zap to try and get rid of both the goblins and the miner. That didn't work out, but that is a very good strategy to use when you're facing somebody with a deck like this. I don't often worry too much about the damage that a miner does on my tower, especially when I'm facing somebody that is using it as a win condition like this. My bigger concern are the other units that he sends down the lane that are meant to distract, or that are really going to be able to do the damage to my tower. The miner actually has reduced damage on the tower, so that's why he's not so much of a worry to me. Now right here we are getting down to a low amount of health, and so I will change my tactic to guarding that tower with my life. But you can see why normally that isn't that big of a deal. At the same time, we're trying to mount a counter attack to try and distract him, take out that arch tower, and we know he's going to be sending out the miner, so I put down a preemptive mini P.E.K.K.A. in hopes that it would be able to defend, and that worked out pretty well. It was a really good match. He got me down to really close down there, but ultimately with some skill, I was able to take that victory. Now here we're going to be facing against somebody named Asaba. You'll notice that he actually also has the rocket. Of course, when I was playing this, I did not know that, and you'll see how he uses that in this match. Now right off the bat, we're playing a little bit of a mind game with each other, seeing who's going to place down the first card so that we can counter effectively. You'll actually see people doing this a lot, and so what I will do is I will use my goblins and put them at the bridge to try and force a reaction out of them so that I can then defend. That's not something that I will always do, but in that situation it ended up working out. He revealed that he had the rocket, which allowed me to totally change the way that I was going to be playing in this match. Now here we are, we've got a really good push. He didn't have the right cards to defend my push, and because he spent 6 elixir with that rocket, I was able to put so much on there that he was not able to defend with. This actually brings up a good point in the fact that you should not just rocket a tower unless it is going to be able to be taken down near the end of a match. And the reason why is because it reveals that win condition, or that secondary win condition that you have. And you do not want to do that in the majority of circumstances, unless it is paired up next to a different troop like the Sparky or even an Elixir Collector. Now you'll see right here, this is why I love the Bomb Tower. You'll notice that it completely took out the Musketeer that was behind the Royal Giant and weakened the Royal Giant to the point where my mini P.E.K.K.A. was able to come out, and right there you see a perfect example of how to use the rocket defensively. It was very well done. I was really impressed with that. It's hard to take out two fast-moving targets like that with the rocket because of how slow it is. You can tell that he has been using the rocket, and I would recommend that you try to learn how to use the rocket defensively as he did. Right here with his tower having such low health, I'm just wanting to get a little bit of damage on there, which is why I was putting down those goblins and the fire spirits and the minions. I just wanted to get it down enough and try to catch him off guard. He plays down a really good musketeer to try and take out that bomb tower. He definitely learned from my first push, and right here he was able to get a few hits onto my tower because of that skill that he had. Luckily, I still had enough. I defended with a few amount of elixir that I was able to make another push and get some more damage on his other tower. When I'm playing Asaba here, I know that he's a really good example of a good player, and so I wanted to be as careful as I possibly could. I tried to place that bomb tower in the right position, and I didn't quite get it, and so he ends up doing a lot of damage onto my tower right here. It was very well played. It didn't quite cut it, but you can see how this high-level match ended up being super close. He didn't have enough health on damage on my tower to be able to pull out a victory, but you can see how the rocket is such a powerful card to be using near the end of the match when you have an opponent's tower laid down so low. Here we're going to be facing the Emelakoko. This match was actually the match that won me this tournament. Now, he has some cards that are not quite up to the tournament standard, but he was doing really well in the tournament even though he did not. So if you have his cards, it might be worth taking a look into using his deck as well. So here we are starting with the first push. Things look pretty good. I got a little bit of damage on his tower, and look how I use the minions right here to pull the spear goblins and also the musketeer so that very little damage was done to my tower, even though I had a push coming on both sides. The middle of your map is a very great way to put cards like that. By only spending 3 elixir to use my minions, I was able to stop a 6 elixir push, including his spear goblins and his musketeer. And that allowed me to properly run a good offense while defending using the bomb tower. You'll notice that that lumberjack getting stuck behind the giant and dying along with the giant as those goblins take him out. Now he gave me just the perfect opportunity to zap that musketeer, and now I just have to worry about the witch. The witch shouldn't be ignored, and I ignored her for too long, which meant that I took some damage onto my tower. Now at this point in the match, he has a lot more elixir than I do, and he is already mounting a push while I can't even play, while I only have 4 elixir. So this is definitely going to be a test, but luckily he is going to be playing on my side of the field, which gives me an advantage, even though I don't have all of the elixir to counter everything. I'll place down that bomb tower, which is just such a solid defense, and here we take out the giant, and we take out that mini P.E.K.K.A. so that he can't do anything. Now, that was a, 5 elixir for the giant and 4 elixir for both the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the lumberjack. So we were able to stop that with only using the bomb tower and a mini P.E.K.K.A. Then counter with a hog push, which ended up winning us that tower. Now the nice thing about this deck is how defensive it is. I'm able to very easily defend against big pushes, including the giant and the lumberjack combo, which is a hard combo to take care of, but that bomb tower is so solid at defending against that. At this point, he's only done a little bit of damage on my towers. I definitely have the health advantage, so I feel completely comfortable going for another tower, especially during this 2 elixir time. I don't want him to be able to get a giant push like he is trying to do so very hard in this match. And here we are ending this match with a very solid victory. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it helped you get better at the game and maybe gain some insights on how to use this deck. This is KairosTime ticking by, and we'll see you in the arena.